Overcoming the Shadows, Sarah's Journey to Freedom. The cafe buzzed with a gentle energy, a symphony of clattering cups and hushed conversations. The rich aroma of freshly brewed coffee hung in the air, an invitation to linger and connect. It was there, amidst the comforting chaos, that Sarah first saw Liam. His smile was warm, his eyes inviting. There was an immediate connection, a shared laughter that filled the space between them. He listened intently, making her feel truly seen, truly valued. He made her feel important, like the most fascinating person in the world. It was intoxicating, a whirlwind of charm and attentiveness that swept her off her feet. She thought she had found her soulmate. But slowly, subtly, the light began to dim. The charm morphed into possessiveness, a tightening grip disguised as affection. The compliments became laced with controlling criticisms, chipping away at her confidence. Arguments, once rare, escalated into explosive outbursts. The first slap echoed in the silence that followed by desperate apologies and promises it would never happen again, but it did. Emotional manipulation became the norm, her dreams belittled, her spirit crushed. He isolated her from friends and family, weaving a web of control that left her feeling utterly alone. Her self-worth eroded, replaced by a gnawing sense of inadequacy. From Liam's perspective, it was about power, a twisted sense of control over his own insecurities. He sought to dominate, to possess, to silence the voices within him that whispered of his own failings. The guilt and fear would surface, leading to fleeting moments of remorse, expressed through gifts and hollow apologies. Sarah felt shattered, trapped in a nightmare she couldn't escape. A deep emptiness consumed her, a void where her vibrant personality once thrived. Her spirit suffocated, her laughter silenced, replaced by a constant undercurrent of fear. One day, staring at her reflection, Sarah saw a flicker of her former self. A spark of defiance ignited within her, a whisper urging her to recognize she deserved better. It was a fragile voice, but it was there. She began to nurture that voice, feeding it with self-love and affirmations. She started small, setting tiny boundaries, daring to say no to his demands. She found solace in her faith, in prayer, reinforcing her belief in her own worth. Each small act of self-assertion was a victory, a step towards reclaiming her power. She started to remember who she was before Liam, the woman with dreams and passions, the woman who deserved to be loved and respected. The decision to leave was terrifying, a leap of faith into the unknown. But the fear of staying, of continuing to suffocate, outweighed the fear of the future. She packed her bags, her hands trembling, and walked away. The silence that followed was deafening, but it was also liberating. It was the sound of her own heartbeat, the sound of her own breath, the sound of her own freedom. She was finally free. The healing process was long and arduous. She embraced therapy, finding a safe space to unpack the trauma and begin to rebuild her life. She reconnected with friends and family, creating a support system that nurtured her recovery. She learned to love herself unconditionally, flaws and all. She began to understand that Liam's actions were a reflection of his own pain, not a reflection of her worth. She realized that his betrayal did not define her. Now Sarah lives a life of peace and happiness. She carries the lessons of the past, but she refuses to be held captive by them. She trusts her instincts, sets firm boundaries, and never compromises her self-love again. She knows that she is worthy of love, respect, and joy. She has learned to choose herself, her happiness, and her freedom. She will never settle for less. Embracing wholeness and her faith keeps her fulfilled. And to anyone who finds themselves in a similar situation, male or female, Sarah wants you to know this. You are not alone. You are worthy of love, respect, and joy. Choose yourself, your happiness, and your freedom. Never settle for less. There is a life of peace waiting for you on the other side.